I titled mine From Visitor to Volunteer and Beyond because I was looking for an opportunity for community involvement, not just from parents, but anyone in the community who can bring something to our school campus. The purpose of my SLP was geared towards trying to get parents on campus. They pick up their kids from time to time. They come to sporting events, but ultimately that's where it ends. So I was trying to find a way to let parents know what was available on campus for them to do. Students know that their parents and teachers are alongside with them as they navigate education, but there are opportunities for parents and community members to come on campus, and the purpose of its SLP was to enhance that so they can come on and help our students. So a brief description of my SLP was that, we have parents that come after our sporting events. They come pick up their kids in the mornings or anytime throughout the day when they have an appointment or something like that. We also have community members from one of our local churches who lead a youth-based group for student athletes, which is titled Fellowship of Christian Athletes. But none of those parents or community members are on campus, in classrooms, or volunteering anywhere in the building. So this SLP aims at trying to highlight that issue and entice the community members to become more involved. And through multiple attempts to do that, I've tried to list those things, and we're going to talk about that as well. So I looked at the data, and the fact is our school doesn't have a PTA or PTO. This is also a fact that at the beginning of the school year and up until February, we didn't have any parents on our school leadership team. It's also a fact that we had less than 10 volunteers come on campus to help anywhere where a student can see an adult working in our building. Sadly, none of these areas were being addressed beyond an attempt to start a PTO or PTA during the last school year, which was very short-lived after my principal said that there wasn't a parent who wanted to lead the group, so the initiative fizzled out. With over 20 sponsors who contributed to the yearbook last year, less than 3 of them had any other involvement with the school outside of their donation. So that data spoke to me and told me that there's definitely people out there, but there needs to be more of a concerted effort to try to get them to be volunteers on the campus. For the stakeholders and research language, I looked at the language of our stakeholders. Showed that some parents did want to be involved with the PTA PTO. So I looked at the survey that was sent out to parents. There was a comment made by one of the 6th grade parents during our school leadership team meeting this year in February. She said that she was concerned about her 6th grader coming up to our school. They were very rambunctious when she watched them get released to go back to their classes after an awards event. That prompted a change in our procedures that will be mentioned on the next slide, but that kind of involvement is what we need from our parents, so that way we can hear them out and figure out a solution and not just make them feel like nothing's going to be done. We had quite a few comments from our newsletter that encouraged parents and community members to come join us on campus, but as of now, it's just been those words. Not much action has been taken in terms of parents reaching into the school or reaching in to try to put themselves more in terms of availability for our use. So this SLP, throughout the monthly newsletter we publish, we put 4 parents on our SLT. 2 of them actually joined us in February. And on average, 2 parents have started coming out on campus to eat lunch with their students on Wednesdays. And each of them have been given a copy of the card that tells them a little bit about the opportunities that are available to volunteer. And I'll mention those on the next slide. We have been adopted by a church, and they have delivered notes to all the staff members a couple days ago, which was very heartfelt. So that's just one thing that they wanted to do to show their appreciation. But we also am going to have that church group do some other things to reach into the school. So students won't necessarily see that impact every time they do something for the staff, but that builds the morale, so we're all about doing that. One of our other sponsors is Fuzzy Peach Frozen Yogurt. They gave the school 500 free cup cards, and we can give those out to our exceptional students. So that's another thing that we can do to incentivize, and that's community from someone in the community, a business. So looking at those types of things, getting community members to do things for our students is one way we want it, but also to try to get them to volunteer, like for the frozen yogurt. That's something that can be monetized, but we're also looking at time, like how can we get parents in to volunteer with their time. So the next slide is going to talk about that. This card on the left is what I have our secretary giving out to random parents. If somebody comes to pick up their kid 3 times in a week, they don't need 3 cards, but at least once, thanking them for visiting the campus, um, trying to let them know that, hey, we have opportunities for them to volunteer and would like for them to actually reach out and tell us when they could help. And it doesn't have to be all the time, but at least try to come in and help. So we gave some options to helping at the front desk, helping with sporting events, and the librarian actually reached out and said, yeah, she could use some parents to help come in or community members to come in and help sort books or just be around the library and do things with her throughout the day. So this card has been given out. Haven't had much feedback in terms of parents coming in or returning those cards to the secretary, but I believe that that's how it starts. So we're going to keep that going. And then the free cup picture there from Fuzzy Peach. And then coming have lunch with your students. That excerpt comes from our newsletter, and it goes out every month. And yesterday I set up a table to have parents come have lunch with their kids. I wasn't out there during the 8th grade portion for much, but I didn't see any parents come out for 6th grade. But we did have one parent come for 7th grade, so they're still coming. And with a school of over 900 students, I would hope we had more parents come out, but I can be satisfied with what we're getting right now, but just continue to push that effort. And that's my SLP in a nutshell.